Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Little Marketing Podcast, where we provide you, small business owners across the globe, with smart and tangible marketing advice for your small business. So I'm excited about today's episode because what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through 4 particular clients that we work with and discuss the journey that they've gone through in their business and in their marketing and the tangible actions that they've taken from a marketing perspective to get their business where it is today. There's some really exciting stories within this, so I'm looking forward to sharing those with you today. Okay, let's get into it. So the first business I want to discuss today, and to be honest, I'm going to create some anonymity around who these businesses are. I'm not going to give their name away, but I'm going to talk more about the industry and the service or product that they provide. So the first one I'm going to discuss today, they're based in Sydney in Australia, and they provide a design service within the residential real estate space. So working with builders and working with homeowners as well. So very high-end service. So this business came to Little Marketing about 3 to 4 years ago, and it was all about, their main goal was really driving revenue and ultimately driving profit for their business and building their business and growing it. So we started to work with them like we do with every other client in creating what we call a positioning and a point of difference. So to really position them in the minds of their customers that is different to the competition that they're in, which is a pretty competitive space. So we go through our normal process, we created that with them, and then we created a marketing plan. And the purpose of the plan is to make sure that we give the actions to communicate that positioning and point of difference the best chance of actually being executed. Now, in this client's case, they were going to be doing, once the foundation elements from a marketing perspective were set up, they were then going to be working on the general ongoing execution of their activities. So once we set their foundations up, for example, we needed to make sure that we really were communicating them differently, deciding what those activities were then going to be. So because they are in the design space, a big part of their marketing needs to be visual. People need to see what it is they do, how they've helped other customers and clients, so that people can make a decision about whether they should be the right company for them. So 2 main activities that they've used to communicate their point of difference within this design space are social media and search engine articles. And we'll talk a little bit about what they are. So because this business is very it's a design business, so very visual focused. People want to see, so their website shows all of the projects that they've worked on, so people can see the great work that they've done. And the key thing about this particular client and this business is ramming home to them, and like every business that we work with, is that their marketing needs to be consistent from a frequency perspective, so they can't just do it whenever they feel like it. They need to be doing it as regularly as possible, and also they need to be consistent in the message of what they do and why they are different. So to the credit of this particular business, they've been doing social media posting, and not boosting, not paid, just organic posting a couple of times a week, showing off the work that they do so people can be inspired. And the thing about social is that once you happen to click on their page and you see that, then we know that will keep appearing in our feed and being recommended to us by, so in this case, Instagram. So they were really consistent in that, so the ability for people to find them is a bit easier. The second thing that they've done is they've created what we call search engine optimization articles. So essentially what they've done is they've created content or written content, articles around the offering that they provide or around their business or around their clients, but industry related, and they publish those articles on their website. They do that religiously every Monday. And the purpose of that is so that their organic rankings, so the amount of people that find them on Google by searching in their particular offering, so not searching for the name of their business, but the particular offering, they would appear in Google. So to be honest, in the last 18 months, the percentage of people that have found them organically has increased by 1,000%. And it's all because of the consistent articles that they're writing and publishing on their website. So between their search engine optimization articles and their organic posting on Instagram a couple of times a week, that consistent marketing, that consistent activity, that consistency in being top of mind with their potential clients and customers has paid off. Had a meeting with them last week and they've said this is the busiest that they've ever been, which is super exciting. And I basically said to them, it's all on you guys because you've been consistent in the activity that you've done. And the biggest lesson with this client and with any business is about consistency. There's a lot of businesses out there that want the quick wins, and that's just not the reality. So it's about having that a long-term sustainable business, and it's about plowing through it and being consistent in the activity. If you want short-term wins, good luck. It doesn't happen. It's about the long-term of being consistent. Is it hard work? Absolutely. If you don't want the hard work, don't start your own business. But if you want to put in the hard yards to reap the rewards in the medium to long term, then small business is the way to go. Okay, let's go on to another client. So next client, they are in the product-related industry within the cleaning space. So very, very commoditized and very, very competitive. So we started to work with them about 5 years ago. Again, similar process. It's all about making sure that we communicated their business in the minds of their customers and potential clients that is different to the cluttered environment that they're in. And then it's about making sure that what are the activities that are going to best communicate that point of difference and that positioning and cut through the clutter. So the activities that work for this particular client are the search engine optimization articles again. So if people are searching for a particular product offering that this company provides, their organic rankings increase. So that's working really well for them. The other activity that works really well for them, and they do it consistently, is EDMs or bulk emails out to their database. So they target a couple of different industries. They target the gym space, so the messaging to the gym space is very tight and very clear and concise. And the other is to the wholesale space, so the messaging to the wholesale space is very targeted, and it's all about kind of bulk orders and bulk discounts if the wholesaling are buying in large quantities. So they're the two big pieces of activity that this particular client implements. And we found that activity and compounded month by month. So those emails go out a couple of times a month. The articles, there's a couple of articles every week, and it's about just compound effect. Again, our team spoke to this client last week. The busiest that they've ever been. Orders are consistently coming in, both from existing clients who are, of course, warm and hot, which is great. We want to keep marketing to them, but also coming through new clients as well. And the third activity we do with this client is AdWords. So driving traffic to the website by creating a campaign, an AdWords campaign on Google, and people clicking on that ad and going to this person's website. Now, if you're going to invest the time and money in things like AdWords and search engine optimization articles to get people your website needs to be fantastic. So make sure your website resonates with your audience. Make sure it talks about your positioning and why you're different, so if you are investing the time, money, energy, and skills to drive people to your website, you want them to be able to choose you once they actually get to the website. So those three activities work really well for this client. As I mentioned, they're the busiest they've ever been. It's all about consistency in the activity, consistency in the frequency of it, and consistency in communicating what they do and why they are different to the competition. So that's client number 2. Let's move on to client number 3. Been working with this business for about 4.5 years. Been working with this client for about 6 years. So they are in the service-related space within kind of service and maintenance within strata, government, and residential. So business has been going for 20 odd years, but when they came to us, it was all about they felt very stagnant, and they wanted to really drive profit, drive revenue, and so they came to us. Again, we created a positioning and point of difference for this business, again in a very competitive space, and then it was about creating a plan to think about what activities are going to best communicate this business. So activities that we do for this client, there's plenty of them. There's the search engine optimization articles. There's AdWords campaign that happen. There's the bulk EDMs that go out as well. So they tailor very much their EDMs to their three core audiences, so residential, government, and to the strata space. So the key about those bulk EDMs is that they are top of mind with their clients and customers. Again, regular emails that go out each month to stay top of mind. Like I always say, my famous line, your customers and clients may not need you today, tomorrow, or next week, but when the time comes, if you've been top of mind, then you have a better chance of them choosing you over the competition. The other activity that this company does is they sponsor industry-related events. So this client has a particular personality. He loves to chat and have a talk. So he's a sponsor within this industry. So he goes to events, he loves to chat, chats with the potential clients, and ultimately gets some work out of that as well. So that investment to sponsor that industry certainly pays off for him. So that's another activity that he does. As part of that sponsorship, we also write content for him to be able to push out to that industry and his audience within that industry. So again, they see him top of mind as well. So he's got 5 or 6, 7 activities that are happening regularly on a monthly basis to get his business and his brand out there to drive revenue. Again, it's the busiest that he's ever been, and it's all about that consistency. I bang on about consistency. It's all about consistency in the frequency of the activity and consistency of the message that he puts out there as well. The fourth business I want to talk about is in an industry that targets small business owners. So service-based industry, they've been going for 50 odd years. And again, this business, they were one of our first clients 15, 16, 17 years ago. So it was all about creating that positioning at point of difference. That really hasn't changed over that time. They are stayed true to that positioning and point of difference. And then, of course, creating a plan and deciding on the activities that are going to best communicate that point of difference. So there's things like, again, the SEO articles, the AdWords, the emails that go out, particular campaigns that they do on their website to drive people to inquire. They tailor their offering to their small business owners. So all the language they use is tailored to their small business clients. They do lots of social media. They contribute to particular magazines. So they, again, lots of activities that they do consistently to get their name out there. They do social media as well. So this client, again, it's about making sure that we stay true to their positioning and point of difference, and it's about being consistent in that activity over 17 years. And that is a big effort, and we have a great working partnership with this client because it's all about making sure that we get the end result at the end of the day and they drive their business to where they want to be and what their end goal is for them. The final client I want to talk about, again, this client is in the service related space. They offer services within council, within strata, within hospitality, within aged care. This business has been working with us for about 7 years. The type of activity that we do for this particular client, so they do industry related sponsorship as well. And again, the key is about making sure that it's not just about branding, but he's involved in the actual industry and he goes to events and he socializes. That's the key one. The second is the AdWords. So again, driving people to his website. So the website is spot on. It really resonates with his high-end clientele. Remember, the website needs to be awesome. If you're going to invest time, money, energy, and skills in driving people to your website, then the website needs to be awesome. There's the search engine optimization articles that he loads up there. There's social media that he does. He speaks at lots of events as well, again, to drive that credibility and drive that social proof. So he really positions himself as a leader in his field. So of course, with this client, we started with positioning, then it was moving on to a marketing plan to figure out what activities are going to work best for his business. So as you can see from these 5 clients, the key theme in all of these is creating a positioning and a point of difference. It's about creating a marketing plan. What does a marketing plan do? Give some structure around the activities that are going to happen, which gives you two things. It gives you consistency in the frequency of the activity to give it the best chance of success, and it gives you consistency in the message of communicating that point of difference and that positioning. And then it's about making sure that whatever activities are being worked on, that things are working. If they need to be tweaked, they're tweaked. If we need to do more of them, we do more. If we need to do less of them, we need to do less. But the plans evolve, the activities evolve. It's about measuring and learning all the time from our perspective and from the client's perspective. Obviously, industries change as well, so everyone needs to be up to speed with what's going on to make sure that the marketing effort is bringing the best return on investment. And ultimately, at the end of the day, everything comes back to achieving the goals that the small business wants to achieve for their business and their life. So you can see from those 5 examples, Rome was not built in a day. It's about hard yakka, it's about working hard, it's about consistency, it's about sometimes being bored with doing things over and over again to cut through. Without that consistency, people can't cut through. It's no surprise that these businesses are the busiest that they've ever been, and everyone wants to talk so negatively about the cost of living crisis and inflation, all these crappy and negative news-related topics. But at the end of the day, small businesses don't care about that stuff. They focus wholly and solely on their business to get the return. If they have a negative mindset, they will fail. But if they have a positive mindset to keep plowing through and ignoring all the news, then that's when success will come. So I hope you got lots out of today, just reinforcing what's so important for your small business, staying true to the path, never giving up, and just giving it a proper crack and being honest with yourself about how you're tracking with your business and whether you really are fighting through and driving that consistency. So thanks, guys. As always, love for you to rate and review our podcast, subscribe so you don't miss anything. As always, we're doing some midweek shorts, so stay tuned for those, and we'll see you back for another episode next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Please note that all the information provided on this podcast is general in nature and is not intended to be specific advice to your individual situation. Please be sure to engage a professional for a customized approach to your business and personal circumstances.